Hey guys. So today I want to talk about something. Goals that I want to achieve hopefully by 30. I turned 29 this year. I know I look like a child and I sound even more like a child. But I was born in 1990. 29 years ago, nearly. Shit. So there's a few things I want to do, like personal goals that I'd like to get done by 30. Might take me longer, and that's okay. As long as I get them done, I will be happy. So, and I wrote them down because they're like, speaking into the universe. I don't know what the hell I knocked off. Speak it into the universe, write it down, put it out there, and it'll happen. And like with goals, they're like, they say write it down to where you can see them every day, so you can keep them in mind, keep them focused. So I wrote them down on like a little eraser board thing that I used in college to write what we needed for groceries and stuff. So it's like my goals by 30. Now, the first one that's kind of holding me back, that I need to, it's going to take a lot of time. This won't necessarily, some of this won't be done by the time I die of old age. But, I know that sounds like crazy dramatic, but student loans, I consolidated my student loans the other day. And they're like, if you have over 60K in student loan debt, if you pay this amount, it'll take 30 years to pay off. Well, I have 85,000. So that's what 4 degrees get you. Unemployed and 85,000 in student loan debt. And I didn't go to like a super fancy college or anything like that. Anyways, okay, so yeah, that's what's kind of holding me back the most, just from doing what I really want to do, is not having any money and not having a great credit score, because I don't have any money. We're not able to pay any bills. So, pay off all my medical bills, which I've almost done. We paid off the biggest one back in November. And then I have a few smaller ones that only take a couple months. If I get a paycheck, it only take a couple paychecks. And stuff like that. So that'll be done. That should be done by 2020. Before I turn 30. I turned 30 October 2020. So I have a little over a year and a half to get a lot of this done. And I definitely can get a good chunk of these done. And then next is credit card debt. I have 4 credit cards. I know I can pay at least 3. I can pay 3 of the 4 off by 2020. I know I can do that. And then start making payments on my student loans. Like solid payments. For a while it's just like $60 a month, $25 a month. Nothing significant. Was able to last year pay off $1,000 with tax returns of one of my student loans. And then hopefully once I get all that debt paid out, or a good chunk of it paid down, my credit score will go up, which takes time too. I really want to get a house, a place of my own, and I'll have to get my credit score back up, and part of that, renting an apartment, paying off all my bills, or like getting my credit built back up by doing things that build your credit up, such as that. And I've already, like, some of these goals I've already done, like consolidate student loans. I applied for that this week. Yeah, that's like, and most of my medical stuff has been paid off. Only have a couple small bills, so getting there. It's definitely starting. And then I want to get a house. Where? I don't know yet. If I find a good job somewhere and I like that area, probably there, more than likely. Yeah, just like a nice house I can call my own and be like, I earned this, I did this, this is mine. In the very least, a place of my own, apartment or something by 30. I'm not going to be living in my parents' house. Hopefully before I turn 29, but definitely not any later than 30. And I want to get the fuck out of Georgia. I'm not a fan of Georgia. It's definitely not one of my favorite states. There are a lot of good things about Georgia, don't get me wrong. All my friends and my family are here. Atlanta has a lot of cool stuff. We have a lot of great national parks. I mean, the coast is only 2.5 hours away, but there's a whole lot more problems that outweigh the good. And I want to get away from it. And not like, I don't mean personally, just like, it's a red state. There was a lot of corruption in the last state election. And it's just, then, like, I'm constantly worried about my friends because, I mean, literally every day you hear about somebody getting shot, either in town or the next town over. You know, there's robberies almost every day just in our town. And I know crime is everywhere, but a lot of it revolves around gun crime here. And, because, you know, pretty much every house, at least one person in a house owns a gun. And, I mean, you can just, we've pawn shops everywhere that sell guns. We've America needs gun control, but a lot of people will buy guns just to have a gun, and they don't know how to use it, they don't know the proper way to clean it, or anything like that. They leave it out, their kids get a hold of it, or, you know, like, it's too easy, and that has caused a lot of problems in the community of this whole area. So there's that. There's fucking racism is rampant. Like, working in retail, so, like, when I was at Soma, or the laundry store I used to work at, as assistant manager, my coworkers, my employees would come to me, and because this would happen on my days off, and it always seemed to happen on my days off, and I was just like, they would say, they had one old lady come in once, an old white lady, ask if there was a white person, if there was anybody else working. And it was just her and one other black girl. And she was like, no, but we'll be happy to help you. She, like, looked around and be like, I'll come back later when there's somebody else here. It's like, and then, or they'll say, like, passive-aggressive racist things, like, oh, you're pretty for, they didn't use black, they used a different word, but I'm not going to say it. And like, they didn't say the N-word, but I don't even want to come close to saying anything like that, because I wouldn't. But it's like, you're pretty for a black girl. It's like, she can't just be pretty? I'm just like, if that does ever happen and I'm here, tell me, and I'll ask them to leave. I don't care if I get fired for it, because that's just not going to happen on the clock, when I'm there. It's just not. I don't care. I don't want their money. We'll do fine without them. I don't want them. We don't need them. They're not welcomed here. And just like, it's shit like that. And just the fucking white privilege here on top of it. It's just awful. And I know this is in a lot of places and it's everywhere, but it just seems, it's not good. So I really want out of Georgia, and then that doesn't include like the homophobic and transphobic and stuff like that, which is awful. And it's just like, people just say things, and I can't think of any specifics, and if I could, I wouldn't want to repeat it, but I mean, you just hear a lot of shit when you work with the public, when you work with people, and a lot of racist shit, a lot of homophobic shit, a lot of misogynistic shit. And again, I know this is everywhere, but I've been to places where it's not, at least not as obvious, or at least not as blatant. And I'd much rather live in those places than where people think it's okay, like they do here. I'm out of water. So there's that goal. Hopefully I can get a job out of state that will help with all of this, because that's like one of my goals, is like get a better paying job. So I've been applying like a crazy woman, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I get something good, something I like and I enjoy too. I'm tired of having crap jobs. So that's in process. That's in process. All of it's kind of starting in process. And one I want to do, don't you steal this idea. I will know and I will find you. Understand me? I'm watching you. Is I want to start my nonprofit where what I want to do with it is create true housing for homeless people. Basically take old abandoned houses that are just sitting around. Like, I mean, you like see places like Detroit or the next town over, half the town is in shambles because they're just abandoned houses. Just, it's a lot of more political shit. Just poorly ran government. And basically take those old houses, preserve them, and turn them into like apartments or something like that. And then have it where somebody can put what belongings they have. Like, basically you'll rent a room, and like, so you have to be applying to jobs, or, you know, a way to get yourself, finding ways to get back on your feet, but you're able to take a shower, get a good night rest, stay warm, get a meal, you know, have your own like kitchen where you can cook and clean. It's a big thing, and it's going to be a lot of money, but I want to be able to be able to have food, kind of like, you know how like boarding houses, you guys remember Hey Arnold and his grandparents ran that boarding house, kind of that idea, but their own places, I guess. I don't know, it's still in the very early stages, and I would like to get it going by 30, but that's something that may like take till I'm 35 or 40 or something like that. But basically just take old abandoned houses that are just sitting there not doing anything and turn them into housing for homeless where people can get back on their feet. I mean, there'll be regulations and stuff, but that's a lot of details that you guys don't need, and it's just a lot of planning, a lot of processing, a lot of money. So yeah, those are my goals, or my like big heavy goals by 30. It would be really cool and really fun if this takes off, or like, by this I mean like the creative stuff, the cosplay stuff and all that, the creative stuff I'm doing takes off and I get paid for that, and then everything is great. But realistically, those are my like hard goals, set in stone goals. I'm still gonna work at this, still gonna put my heart and soul into it, and just see where it goes. But like, this is, the goals are reality. This is fun. So I would love to know what your goals are, even if you don't have a set time frame on them. I just find for me, putting a time frame on them kind of pushes me to do them more, because I'm a horrible procrastinator. I will literally wait till the last second to do anything. Like, I'm filming this video and I have to edit it and upload it within like the next hour. So yeah, I would love to know what your guys' goals are, even if it's something like, I don't know, getting one piece of a cosplay done, or reading a book, or anything like that. I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you're at. All right, bye. Love you.